Hello Internet, hello everyone. Summer is in full swing and there is not much time to make videos. Nevertheless, here is a nice little demo of how to model a suction hose in Fusion 360 using the Loft function with the Rails option. Properly used, this function offers the possibility of modeling organic shapes, which is particularly relevant for models that must have some ergonomic quality. I think this is a nice topic for those out there that are interested in modeling, and it's also of use in the workshop to create suction hose adapters for your machines. Therefore, enough talk, let's go. First things first, fire up Fusion 360 and create a new component. All model parts of the suction hose shall be part of one separate component. This makes it easier to make further use of the model later on. Shaping the adapter part. Now let's focus on the adapter part of the suction hose. We will create a cylinder-like shape that connects the inner and outer walls. To do this, I created sketch number 1 with the circular profile and an offset circle. I create the vertical and horizontal construction lines to have the option to reference them later, for example to align other parts of the construction to them. Offset will later represent the thickness of the outer wall. In the end, I decided to set more constraints to have a fully defined drawing or sketch and therefore a good starting point for further modeling. At this point, I modeled the straight adapter part, which is slightly tapered. For this I will use the Loft function and connect 2 or in this case 4 profiles. To do this I create an offset plane and place another sketch on the plane. Now I will create a circular profile again, a bit bigger for the connection to the suction hose, and then I use the offset function to set the second profile for the outer wall. Voila! Now we have our second sketch. And now we can use the Loft function to connect both sketches. To apply the Loft function, I call the function from the Create menu in the Solid tab. Then all I have to do is select the profile in Sketch 1 and Sketch 2, and the default settings will do the rest. At the end I check again or set a dimension constraint to make sure I have the correct diameter in place. Then I model the tip and again create an offset plane with the sketch. For modeling, I project construction lines and curves from the existing sketches. Then I draw only a part of the desired profile for the tip and use the mirror function in sketch mode to create the complete profile. Finally, the offset function is used again to define the outer wall. When modeling, I project existing lines and profiles to define the tip of the suction nozzle. Now I find a good profile for the tip of the suction nozzle and align the profile with lines of the previous sketches. For later interaction of the loft function with other profiles, it is important that the profile or curves and lines of the individual sketches touch each other or intersect each other. Otherwise, the rail option, for example, of the loft function in Fusion will not work properly. So keep that in mind. I use additional constraints here in the sketch to get a fully defined sketch that leaves no degree of freedom. When I'm satisfied with the shape of the tip, I create the wall with the offset function, for example for a 2 mm wall thickness. Then I connect the profile of the adapter part below and the profile of the tip above with the loft function in Fusion. We could finish with the simple use of the loft function here and prepare the part for 3D printing. However, I would like to influence the loft function and adjust the shape according to my ideas. A few more steps are necessary for this. In order to influence the shape, I have to create an additional vertical sketch. To do this, I first create a surface, a plane on the desired axis, and then create a sketch on that plane. Note, the lines of the profiles later on must meet or intersect to use the rails option. Otherwise, the rails option will not work properly. If possible, you can project existing parts from other sketches into the current sketch. The loft function in conjunction with the rails option gives us maximum control over the shape of the model that we want to create. Finally, I have an upper and a lower profile, which I connect using the loft function and two rail curves that influence the course of the shape. I do this for the inner wall of the suction hose and also for the outer wall of the suction hose. In general, that was all. Let's look at the result again in the cross-section view to verify the model. I'm satisfied with the result. And now I'm going to prepare the workpiece for 3D printing. To do this, I select the component and use the export function in the file menu of Fusion that allows me to export the model in the new 3MF format or in the old STL format. STL is okay for our use case, is absolutely fine, and we can use this STL export then and load the file into the slicer program, for example Cura or the Prusa slicer. The slicer program will calculate the model for 3D printing and create the G-code file. The G-code file contains all the information to control the 3D printer to print our model. Here, of course, there are numerous settings that can be made in the slicer program. I will only mention the most important ones in my opinion. Firstly, the resolution or layer height, which I consider is appropriate with 0.2 millimeters. As it is intended to be a robust component to be used in a workshop, I will set the printing temperature to the upper range so that there is a good connection between the layers when printing. In addition, I set the wall thickness for the outer walls to at least 4 print lines before the infill pattern begins. The infill rate should be around about 50% or higher. A simple infill pattern should be sufficient, and because the overall wall thickness of the model doesn't leave much room for fancy infill patterns. Yeah, that's more or less all we have to set up in the slicer program, and we can export this as G-code file and put it on the 3D printer for 3D printing. Let's have a look. I think the result looks quite good, at least for the first attempt. Well, the nice thing about 3D printing is that we can now improve or adapt the model according to our wishes. It is always interesting for me to model my own ideas and products, and ultimately be able to print them out. That's it for today. In the next videos, the topic FreeCAD will play a role again. A lot has happened in the FreeCAD universe, and it's time to review the current version again. I wish everyone a lot of fun modeling and printing. If there are any questions regarding the procedure, use the comment section. Often I can react and provide answers to your questions. So, I hope you had some fun with my video, and hopefully I see you back on my channel soon. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Have a good time. Bye. Free time.